For celebrities, especially those in South Korean entertainment industry where fan culture is another level of intense, it can be easy to develop an inflated ego. Although it might be impossible for fans to fully grasp an idol's true character, sometimes the mask slips off and they offer glimpses through candid interviews, social media posts, and even controversies. Number 1. Wan Yong being too obsessed with the center position. Since dropping her debut with IVE, Wan Yong seemed to be really infamous with numerous controversies around her alleged incompetence and bad attitude. And lately, the young female idol has again triggered a hot discussion on social platforms due to being allegedly obsessed with the center position. To be more specific, on July 2 last year, Wan Yong got on many netizens' nerves due to her graceless action of trying to be the center of attention when IVE appeared at 2022 Unicon. After performing Love Dive, all members walked down to get closer to fans and interact with them, but instead of arranging themselves following the usual lineup, this time they stood randomly and Liju was seen to stand at the center position. Realizing that she wasn't in the middle spot, Wan Yong immediately turned to Liju and asked her to switch the position with her, even though the lineup was settled down already. In fact, there are many other times the female idol was caught rushing to the center position as if someone would take it from her, but to netizens, this time was like the last straw, making them so fed up and speechless. Many criticized Wan Yong for being an attention seeker and so mean towards other members when just keeping the center position for herself, as well as acting like she is the main character in every event. It was that obsession that made her have an action that is said to be extremely unexpected and irritating, asking Liju to give her the position back. Many lend a sympathetic ear to Liju after the incident, saying that the poor girl must feel so awkward and embarrassed. What's more, they believe that internal conflicts must often occur in IVE, considering the way Wan Yong always wants to be the protagonist all the time and overshadows the other members, not giving them a chance to shine. Thus, netizens asked Wan Yong to stop being self-absorbed and assuming the center position is hers only, as if she is on a higher level compared to her fellow members. On the other hand, Wan Yong's fans stated that what netizens were talking about their idol is totally nonsense, since the lineup had been fixed earlier according to Starship's settlement and IVE couldn't decide their position. So Wan Yong is totally not wrong to follow the company's arrangement. Thus, they asked netizens to stop making up the story to draw criticism to the female idol while in fact she's doing the right thing. If netizens don't like Wan Yong, they could just stop caring about her instead of nitpicking on every one of her moves. Number 2. New Jeans' Minji being allegedly overconfident. Lately, New Jeans has had a fun quiz on QQ Music, including a list of printed multiple choice questions, including the one asking which skills you are confident in most. It seems that there's nothing worth discussing, but Minji was soon under harsh criticism after choosing all 4 skills: vocals, rap, dance, and producing, while other members just chose maximum 1 or 2 skills. Many said that Minji is too arrogant and not judicious when boasting about her ability with excessive pride. In fact, in New Jeans, she's not the member with the best dancing skills, but Honey is. Her vocals are also said to be quite bland and boring since her performance is not as good as other members in Ditto's live stage. And producing is not just about participating and writing the lyrics. Thus, maybe Minji should have chosen only 1 skill, rapping. Some even assume that Minji's overconfidence is the result of New Jeans gaining massive popularity lately. The female idol believed that her skills are proportional to her group's reputation, and that's why she didn't hesitate to tick all the boxes. Netizens also added that Minji needs to bear in mind that there are many veteran idols with way better skills don't act that way, and a rookie one who just debuted for only 7 months like her should know the limit. Immediately, Minji's fans came to the defense of their idol, pointing out that she indeed ticked all the boxes, but the thing is that she has changed the question from confident in most to need to practice more, which means that she wants to improve these skills. If you pay attention, there was a very large black handwriting of Minji, but some netizens intended to turn a blind eye to it in order to lead others on and create a bad impression of her on non-fans. She in fact is highly aware of her incomplete abilities which need to be polished in the future, and is obviously a humble girl who always strives for the better. Number 3. Wan Yong and Iso blatantly lip-syncing. On December 31, 2022, Wan Yong and Iso attended the 2022 MBC Gayo Daejeon, where they showcased a refreshing cover of IU's Strawberry Moon. However, netizens' antipathy grew like crazy as soon as the duo's performance was uploaded to YouTube. Particularly, the performance came under fire for being overloaded with lip syncing, and the two female idols barely opening their mouths. Normally, it can be quite a difficult task to sing while performing complicated choreography, therefore lip syncing makes sense in these circumstances. However, what people found difficult to accept was that Wan Yong and Iso didn't have any choreography to roll out, and were seen sitting still for the entire performance. As a result, tons of netizens jumped on the issue, directing criticism toward the two girls for seriously looking down on their audience by bringing such a half-hearted performance on stage. Some said that this is just a manifestation of the fact that Wan Yong and Iso are probably thinking they're A-list stars, as IVE only debuted less than a year, but have already won Daesung and Rookie of the Year at major awards ceremonies. Therefore, they thought they have enough influence to do whatever they wanted without getting condemned. At this point, even fans of the girls turned their backs on them, expressing their dismay and saying that their main job isn't actress, but singer. So they should seriously work on their performing skills instead of just acting like pretty dolls and throwing flirty expressions all the time. Some even stated that if Wan Yong and Iso wouldn't change, they would rather stan an AI idol rather than these incompetent girls. In the midst of a huge wave of arguments raised against the two female idols, there are still several fans who defended the girls, blaming Starship Entertainment for using them for clout by turning them into controversial individuals to attract attention. Thus, this is not Wan Yong and Iso's fault at all, as they were forced to do it for the sake of their agency, and netizens should stop calling them out since they are just victims. So, except for Minji, do you think these idols really think they're A-list stars and act like they're superior like netizens claim? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching!